Well, welcome back to We're Not Really Here. It is half-time at the Etihad Stadium, which is emblazoned with what should normally be mid-May sunshine, but because of what we've had to endure over the course of the last few months, it is late July sunshine, but still that last day of the season feel at the Etihad as Manchester City turn on the after boosters and bring a 2-0 scoreline to half-time. And if you weren't able to see the game, you will be wanting to catch up on a Kevin De Bruyne special goal that made it 2-0 just before the break. I'm Hugh Ferris, Chloe Kelly alongside me with Michael Brown and Natalie Pavelek. We'll bring you the other scores around the Premier League in just a moment as well, because it is as ever on the final day of a Premier League season, shaping up for a dramatic afternoon here in the UK. But very quickly, a couple of words about some of what we've seen so far in this game. And Chloe, we spent quite a lot of time prior to this match talking about your incredible ability to strike from distance. So you are the perfect person to break down and analyse that Kevin De Bruyne wonder goal just before the break.
Yeah, unbelievable feat beforehand, and I think when you look at it, no one's expecting that really for him to have a go from there. I think many players would just give it and set someone else, but yeah, incredible feat beforehand, and then yeah, the keeper's got no chance with that incredible finish from Kevin De Bruyne.
The question before this game was about his assists. Well, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to pass it to anybody else if you're going to do that from 25 yards on the angle.
Exactly, yeah. Can do everything really, assists and goals. So yeah, everyone was looking at the assists before the game, but yeah, pulled that out of the locker with a great finish.
Natalie, that's the point, isn't it? We are concentrating on several things here of great import. They are Ederson keeping a clean sheet, which we thought after just the first few minutes that he wasn't going to, but so far so good with that. Kevin De Bruyne, his assist. Raheem Sterling has a couple of goal-scoring marks to hit. And of course, we want David Silva to score in his final Premier League match for Manchester City. There's been plenty of entertainment besides, but you're aching, aren't you, for Kevin De Bruyne to lay on a goal for David Silva? It's just not quite happening.
Yeah, I'm awful, aren't I? Every time Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball, I'm like, come on, put it on someone's head, put it at David's feet. And when Kevin scored there, I was like, oh, I wish it was an assist. Oh, but my goodness, it was an incredible goal. So yeah, but in terms of Ederson, we know now that he is definitely going to at least be the joint winner of the Golden Glove Award, because of course Nick Pope has conceded against Brighton, so at the minimum he will be the joint Golden Glove winner of this season, which is brilliant. But if he holds out, he's going to be winning the Golden Glove with 16 clean sheets, fingers crossed, which is absolutely amazing. But ideally, what I'd like to see in the second half is Kevin De Bruyne delivering to the feet of Raheem Sterling a couple of times and to David Silva. So that would, one to each. Come on, let's not be selfish.
Such is the luxury of Manchester City fans at the moment, isn't it, Michael, that they can pick out these little things to potentially happen. And actually, the way that the game is set up, it helps City fans at least hope for that, because the game done and dusted, even at this stage, would you say?
You never say never, but it certainly looks that way. They've controlled the possession, they've gone away about it with a fantastic tempo, great work ethic, moving the ball around and from one side to another. Some great little 1-2s you mentioned here in the link beforehand, and that's what you want to see. Sterling down the left-hand side, pulls it back to David Silva, and there you go, thinking with his left foot, there's the goal, but it was blocked. And then Kevin De Bruyne's goal was just remarkable. A brilliant reaction from a week where it's been questioned, should he get awards, should he not? He answers it yet again. And it's the drag back. He takes it one way, then he pulls it out of his feet to go the other way, and the execution of the finish was sublime. But I've got to go back to the clean sheets there with Ederson. What a save. As Pukki got away defensively, Manchester City would be a bit disappointed. Pukki goes right through on goal. Ederson stays big. He wants that record. It was a wonderful save, and that changes the game, So fantastic saves and great attitude from the players.
Yeah, if you haven't been able to watch the game so far, then City Plus from midnight is where you'll be able to watch the full match. You'll be able to see that save from Ederson by Pukki. You'll be able to see that wonderful goal from Kevin De Bruyne as well. And it's fascinating, isn't it? And you brought it up, Michael, so I'm going to let everybody have another go, another little pop at this, is that he does his talking on the pitch. And as much as there's been all sorts of proxy arguments going on social media, that is essentially, Natalie, what he does. And he almost like, I'm sure he wouldn't have expected himself to be in that position to pick out the top corner like he did, but I imagine that just in the back of his mind, instinctively, he thought, this is how I'm going to be making statements, thank you very much indeed, and this is all that is necessary.
Yeah, if he cares, then that is absolutely the way to react to it. But I'm guessing he probably doesn't even care, because he's just like, I'm world class, I'm incredible, I don't need the sort of recognition of football writers. But I mean, it was just absolutely insane. We all watched it, then we were dying to see an instant replay of it, and all of us all sort of went at the same time, like, it was just absolutely insane. And what I loved as well was his celebration, or his non-celebration. He's just scored an absolute worldie goal, and he just sort of goes, yeah.
Normal routine. That's how I go about it.
Yep.
Fantastic, isn't it?
A shrug of the shoulders. And Chloe, we should just pay tribute to the first goal as well, because it was quite the opposite end of the scale. It was scrappy from Manchester City, but as Michael said, the build-up was beautiful, and eventually it might have fallen to David Silva, but it broke in the end to Gabriel Jesus. And if he's in there to do anything, it is to make sure he's in the right spot at the right time, and it's exactly what he did. And yes, it was scrappy, but it was a crucial goal, bearing in mind it happened, 3 minutes after Norwich thought that they'd taken the lead if it wasn't for VAR ruling out for offside.
Yeah, definitely. I think Norwich were sort of worrying too much about the VAR, and City went up the other end and scored. But yeah, Gabriel Jesus, he just switched on and got to it first, really. So it's about just getting there and being in the right place, right time. So yeah, great goal.
Got a great stat for you.
Go on.
You know I love a stat, Brownie. So Gabriel Jesus has now scored 40 goals in the Premier League, and he's the joint second highest scoring Brazilian ever in the Premier League.
Bad.
Have that one.
Well, you've
she was searching for a long time.
Yes, exactly.
I've seen her. She's been searching for anything she can about.
Is that why she left for 25 minutes?
Yes.
There's nothing that Google won't provide you with if you give yourself 25 minutes. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll tell you everything that's been going on in the Premier League as well, because at the moment, shaping up to be fairly interesting, top and bottom, as far as the European places and relegation are concerned. But first of all, let's hear from City's Chicky Bagirstein on that first half.
Cheeky, we're ahead at half-time. What are your thoughts after that first 45 minutes?
They were good, they were intense. I think we are trying, you can see that we are trying to keep fitness and the rhythm for Real Madrid game. Having a lot of chances, scoring, conceding also, a couple of ones, so we have to be careful, but quite happy and with the 2-0.
This is the final audition, if you like, for the players ahead of that Real Madrid game. I mean, they're all going to want to be involved in that, and this is the chance to show Pep which team he should pick that night, isn't it? Yeah,
and you know, everyone wants to play that game, so they are training for that, and it's good to compete. So it's good to the game against Watford. Now this one is the last one. Also, maybe we could play between us, maybe a friendly. Closed doors maybe next weekend, so also it's going to help to get fit for Real Madrid.
One player almost certain to play against Real Madrid is Kevin De Bruyne. He's had an amazing season. I mean, what can you say about the goal he's just scored?
Top. I mean, it's what it is. So it's difficult to think that he's not the best player of the league. We have some of them, no? I mean, we have Raheem fit, we have Kevin, the team. I mean, the performing is performing well, but Kevin especially it looks like he's looking for the assist, but he had the best chance to score, and he scored a wonderful goal.
And today is David Silva's last Premier League game. I mean, we're all looking forward to giving him a proper send-off when he's played his final game for the club. And hopefully that could be as a Champions League winner, and he deserves that, doesn't he, for the quality?
Yeah, also for his career. I mean, he has been winning league cups, everything, World Cups, Euros. So I mean, why not? No, I mean, we are going to help him, and we are trying to help him to get the Champions League, and he's going to be it could be the best way to say goodbye, and also for him to say thank you to the Man City supporters and to the club.
Real Madrid have been in very good form since the restart. I mean, they've won 10, I think, and then drew another one. It's not going to be an easy game here, is it?
And they won the league against I mean, they were behind Barcelona, and then finally they could beat them. So it makes them very, very dangerous team. I mean, it's going to be always the competition, but okay, we are also confident. We did a good game there. They will not forget that, and we don't need to forget that. So we have to be realistic and trying to get the advantage that we got.
And finally, the transfer window opens tomorrow. I don't expect you, obviously, to name any names, but do you think we'll be active this summer, and have you been working on things?
Yeah, we are working a lot. We have to be always ready, but maybe could be a bit a strange transfer window. because the people has to move first. We have to try to bring players that they can improve our squad, but also of course it means that maybe someone could leave. So it's going to be strange because also we have the Champions League, so we have to wait to move forward until the Champions League is finished, and then we will have maybe less time than ever, but we'll have enough time to do the change that we need to improve this squad.
Cheeky, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you at Real Madrid.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to hear from Chicky Bergerstein. At half-time in this one, it's Manchester City 2, Norwich 0. One of the games where pretty much everything is decided ahead of it, but a lot of the other Premier League games aren't. So as you see the glorious sun upon the Etihad Stadium this afternoon, some live pictures from the stadium. Let's tell you what is going on. In terms of the Champions League race, well, Chelsea leading Wolves by 2-0. Both goals in first-half injury time from Mason Mount and Olivier Giroud. So they at the moment are above Manchester United in third spot because it is, Natalie, at the King Power currently. Leicester 0, Manchester United 0. Cheering for a Jamie Vardy goal throughout the first half was Natalie. So at the moment, Leicester in fifth spot. And, Michael, Spurs are going to be in the Europa League because Wolves are losing and they're winning at Crystal Palace. How do you see that Champions League, Europa League thing, he says?
Well, if you're asking me who was going to score, you'd say Harry Kane. And
yes,
he doesn't disappoint yet again. So it'll be some turnaround, as we mentioned before, for Spurs. But it's a long way to go. We said if we were sat out there doing the graphics, looking at all the scores, I said, don't look too much into it yet. There's a few more twists.
One of the twists could well happen at your former club, Chloe, because Everton are currently trailing at home to Bournemouth. Bournemouth are winning, Watford are losing 3-1 at Arsenal, and West Ham 0, Aston Villa 0. So at the moment, Villa are staying up, but if West Ham score, Bournemouth is staying up. It's going to be a fascinating second 45, but Everton currently helping Bournemouth out a little bit, it would seem.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth are just going about their business and hoping results go their way elsewhere. But yeah, that eyes are all on the West Ham Villa game at the minute. And yeah, I think Villa will be a little bit shaken at the minute if they do know about the results elsewhere.
They will be nervous. And just the other games to tell you about, Newcastle actually took the lead against Liverpool inside the first minute through Dwight Gale, but it is now 1-1 with Virgil van Dijk scoring an equaliser. Southampton 0, Sheffield United 1, and Burnley 1, Brighton 1, as was mentioned a little bit earlier on about Nick Pope not able to keep a 16th clean sheet for Burnley. So just to wrap things up in this half-time sequence, the matters back here at the Etihad. Chloe, it's a situation that Manchester City find themselves in countless occasions. What do they say at half-time to try and re-energise themselves, not rest on their laurels and kind of have that hunger to score 3, 4, 5, potentially 6?
Yeah, it's about more of the same, doing what they've basically been doing in the first half and more goals to come. And I think the players out there will be knowing that they have targets to hit. Players like Sterling and De Bruyne both have targets to hit, so I think just looking at that, and they both have individual goals out there, so I think just going out and doing more of the same and just not getting too caught ahead of themselves.
It'll be a fascinating second half. Don't forget, you can watch the entirety of this game on City Plus from midnight. We'll be back after the game as well. Who knows how many goals that we'll have the opportunity to speak about. We do know that Riyad Mahrez is coming on at the beginning of this second half, so changes potentially aplenty with Real Madrid. I said just around the corner, 2 weeks away, but we're back in just 45 minutes. Enjoy the second half.